Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joys of Code. Today we are digging into something that is, and I mean this, a total game changer for any data engineer out there: the 3 layers of analytics. Seriously, once you master this framework, you'll go from just building data pipes to building systems that create some real, tangible value for the business. Let's get right into it.
Okay, picture this. It's Friday night, you've ordered your favorite food, and just a few minutes later, you get that little notification that says, hey, your order might be slightly delayed. How do they know that already? It's not magic, it's not a crystal ball, it is a super powerful analytic stack, and as data engineers, we're the ones who build it. We're the architects behind that magic.
So, at the very heart of this are 3 distinct layers. I want you to think of it like a pyramid. Down at the bottom, the foundation, you've got Descriptive Analytics. This just tells us what happened. Simple enough. The next level up is Predictive Analytics, which uses all that history to ask, okay, what's likely to happen next? And then at the very top, the peak of the pyramid, is Prescriptive Analytics, which tells us, so what should we do about it? To make this all crystal clear, we're going to follow a fictional food delivery app we'll call Hungry Now through this whole journey.
All right, first up, let's talk about that foundation, Descriptive Analytics. This is all about looking in the rearview mirror. It's about understanding precisely what has already happened, and believe me, this is the solid ground that everything else has to be built on.
So for our app, Hungry Now, this layer is all about answering those fundamental historical questions. The business team needs to know things like, what was our average delivery time last month? How many people canceled their orders? Are customers happier when deliveries are on time? You know, the basics. We are basically taking a giant mountain of messy, raw data and turning it into clear, easy-to-understand stories about the past.
So where do we, the engineers, come in? Oh, this is our bread and butter right here. We're the ones building the pipelines that take all that raw, chaotic data, what we often call the bronze layer, and we refine it into clean, trustworthy silver and gold layers. This gives the business a single source of truth. We design the whole backbone for the BI tools. We make sure the data is updated on time every time. And we lock it down with security so the manager in one city only sees their city's data.
Okay, so once we have that rock-solid descriptive foundation, we can finally start to look ahead. And that brings us to layer 2, Predictive Analytics. This is where the really cool stuff with data science and machine learning starts to happen.
Now the questions totally change. We go from asking what was to what will be. Hungry Now isn't just looking at past delays anymore. Now they're asking, will this specific order, the one placed 30 seconds ago, be late? Or where are we going to see a huge spike in demand this Friday night? It's all about trying to predict the future.
And of course, our job as engineers gets a little more complex here. We're not just building tables anymore. We're actually crafting the data ingredients, the features that are going to fuel those machine learning models. This often means building something called a feature store, which is like a central library for all these valuable data points. And crucially, we have to guarantee something called temporal correctness. It sounds a little fancy, but it's really all about avoiding one massive, all too common mistake. And that huge mistake is called data leakage. This is the big one. Imagine you're trying to predict a stock's price, but you use tomorrow's closing price to do it. Of course you're going to be 100% accurate. That's data leakage. It makes a model look like a genius in testing, but then it completely falls apart in the real world. Our job as engineers is to build the guardrails to prevent this. We have to make absolutely certain the model only ever sees data that was actually available at the exact moment of a prediction.
Okay, so we've looked back at the past and we've peered into the future. Now it's time for the final and most powerful layer, Prescriptive Analytics. This is where the system stops just giving us information and starts telling us what to do, or even better, just does it for us automatically.
This is where the rubber really meets the road. Hungry Now can use its predictions to take immediate action. If a delivery is predicted to be super late, the system can automatically reassign it to a closer driver, no human needed. Or if an order seems like it might lead to a complaint, it can proactively offer the customer a small discount right away. We're turning predictions into real-time business decisions that make customers happier.
And as engineers, we're the ones who build the engine that makes all this happen. We create these lightning-fast pipelines that can take prediction and trigger an action in a fraction of a second. But, and this is so important, we also build a closed-loop system. That means we track everything: the prediction, the action the system took, and what the final outcome was. Did reassigning that driver actually work? That feedback loop is everything. It's how we measure success and how the whole system gets smarter over time.
So we've walked through all 3 layers now. It's a lot, I know. But let's put it all together and talk about how you can use this knowledge to really showcase your skills and make yourself stand out from the crowd.
So here's a kind of bird's eye view of how this all plugs together. You can see how the data flows in on the left, right? It gets ingested, then we transform it for our descriptive dashboards. From there, it feeds into our feature store for the predictive models. And finally, those predictions get sent to a decision service to trigger our automated prescriptive actions. It's this beautiful, continuous flow where each layer builds right on top of the last one.
Look, building cool tech is fun, but a huge part of our job is proving that what we build actually works. We have to measure success. For that descriptive layer, we care about stuff like data freshness and how fast the dashboards are. For predictive, it's all about model accuracy. But for prescriptive, it's about the bottom line. Did we actually reduce customer refunds? Did we improve the on-time delivery rate? That's the stuff that matters.
All right, let's get super practical. How do you actually talk about these skills in your resume or in a job interview? I'm going to give you 3 incredibly powerful I statements, one for each layer, that you can pretty much just steal.
For descriptive analytics, a statement like this one is absolute gold. It instantly shows you understand data modeling, you know how to make things fast, and you care about security. It proves you're not just a data plumber moving data around, you're an architect of business intelligence.
Now, for predictive, this is a home run. It immediately tells a hiring manager that you understand the #1 trap in machine learning, data leakage, and more importantly, you know exactly how to prevent it. It shows you're thinking about the big picture and building reliable, repeatable systems. And finally, for prescriptive, this statement just shows you can connect all the dots. You don't just make a prediction and then walk away. You build the whole system that acts on it, measures the result, and lets the business see the real-world impact. This is what it means to truly engineer for business value.
So let's just boil it all down to 3 key takeaways. 1, master that descriptive layer to build a rock-solid foundation of truth. 2, build smart, safe, predictive systems that are protected from pitfalls like data leakage. And 3, close the loop with prescriptive analytics to turn all those cool insights into real, measurable action.
Now, we've used our Hungry Now app as an example this whole time, but this 3-layer framework applies to literally any industry. So I have a question for you. Think about another industry, maybe finance or logistics or even healthcare. How could they use prescriptive analytics to completely change their game? I genuinely want to hear what you come up with. Drop your best ideas in the comments section below. And hey, if you found this explainer helpful and you want more deep dives into the world of data engineering, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to Joys of Code. Thanks so much for watching.